no, you didn't. That was my vodka. That was my lemon drop. On the sticky floors, it's hot down here. I'm just joking with you.
All right, Milo. Well, we got a very special guest today on the show. Milo.
Why do you have to say South Central LA?
Yeah.
This is why you don't go into the one person you may know bit of your DMs. Oh my God. Why do you have to say South Central? Why can't you say my office was something glamorous?
Yeah. Well, we're here in a very special place. This is the former Yeezy CEO, political rising star, business star, fashion icon. We're here with Milo. What's up, brother?
That was a ridiculous introduction.
Yeah.
None of those things are true. We are. The location is more exciting than the guest today because we are in the former megastar Ye's bedroom, which I have converted into my office, which is a lot less creepy than it sounds. We've saged it. We've exorcised it. But yeah, no. I just finished up 2 years or so looking after the chief and about to do my own. It was very strange to me because I've always kind of like, you know what women would say, like coasting on pretty, you know, like they could just sort of get by because they look nice. And I've always kind of like coasted on the fact that I can just talk and people seem to be entertained by it. But I discovered when I worked at Yeezy, I was actually really good at some like specific, valuable, skill-based things, mostly people and systems. So I'm actually interviewing with a couple of other very big stars at the moment to be chief operating officer for them, which is exciting. We have a clothing brand going out and various other things. But yeah, no, thanks for having me. Live from Ye's bedroom. This is very strange.
This is really his bedroom.
Yeah, this is bedroom for ages.
Wow, he's really like a modest, like model.
Oh, look, he's very precise and peculiar and particular about, for instance, if he goes out for dinner. I mean, look, people will get upset about me saying this, but most stars from a particular oeuvre, let's say, of a hip hop variety, most urban stars, they will go out and when they dine or when they drink, they're just looking to spend money and to be seen to spend money, right? And you know, they don't really have very much of an idea of what they're drinking or what they're eating. Yeah. They don't really care too much. But Ye is like, he knows if that's not ahi tuna, he will know. He will know immediately. You know, he's like, no. Like, if it's not he will know if it hasn't been cut correctly. You know, like if the sushi chef is really just a Latino out the back, you know, just with a cleaver, you know, like he will know. It's like, this is not, I'm sorry, and he'll not. Like he knows, he has such finely tuned taste antenna for everything, you know, except he's just like a workaholic and he doesn't have time. Sorry, this is not going to get better, by the way. He just doesn't have a lot of, I mean, he likes nice things, he knows nice things, and he only wants to ingest nice things. And when it comes to the art, very finely tuned taste with the music and the fashion. But when it comes to himself, like personally, he's cool, he's good. I mean, we're in, the walls here, we're in basically the top floor of a manufacturing warehouse for one of Yeezy's vendors. And it's basically like Kleenex and spit walls, you know, just these like cheap partition walls. Guy just lived here. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, he's not like a lot of these stars will have these amazing airs and graces, these extraordinary demands and requests. You know, I'm a complete bougie bitch. But no, he's so chill. All he really wants to do is work. All he wants to do is create. You know, which.
So it's sort of crazy because it's like when all this stuff was going on with Adidas and everything with the anti-Semitism, but then he has a CEO that's a Jew. How was that between you and him?
I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
The jury's out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean his previous CEO, Jotani, of course, is a proper Jew. You know, he's you know, His middle name is Aria, you know, so he's like, he's a real Jew.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what I am, but no, I mean, it's surrounded by Jews. I mean, we had, he really doesn't hate anybody. If I had a criticism of the way that he interacts with people, it wouldn't be anti-Semitism. It would be that sometimes I think that the artistry and his statements, philosophy or whatever, can sometimes take a back seat to the impulse to like be outrageous or to do what he knows he shouldn't. There's there, I don't know if anybody will remember. There's a kid's book. Sorry, I was eating chips before I got on here.
You got pearly white teeth though, man.
No,
Nice
no, they're
clean,
not.
bro.
No, they're not. They're not.
Nice
because,
and clean,
they're
bro.
not because before I was look. This is the first time that an interview has ever started late, and I'm not the problem. So I was here like dressed, ready to go. This guy's like fiddling with this, that, and the other, and I'm just. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Pearly whites, bro.
No.
You want to make sure it was glass bottles, not the microplastics. You know, that's the thing about being here in LA.
I'm such a bougie bitch.
Yeah, well.
He said, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? I said, yeah, sparkling water, but glass bottles. And then I caught myself. I was like, oh my gosh.
No, it was smart though.
No, if I had a criticism, it's true though. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't drink out of plastic. If I had a criticism about the way he interacts with people or makes statements or whatever, I think it's that sometimes look, I think of him as the last great European kind of musical genius, and up there on par with European classical composers. But he sort of accidentally got put in like a 21st century American black body, you know? Yeah. And there's some hardware issues there. Like sometimes I feel like he doesn't have the RAM for all of the ideas that are coming through the processor. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like the potential that he has, the artistry, the talent, which is a great burden and something that would screw anybody up. He sometimes has trouble, I think, marshalling the thoughts in a way. But what I was going to say is sometimes I feel like the project of creating his art, which is like in a different league to everybody else in that genre, right? I mean, you see the other hip hop stars on stage with him; they all look at him like wide-eyed, like just like in wonder and awe for a reason, because they know he's he's not like us, he's a little bit different. Sometimes that takes a back seat, I think, to just doing what he knows he's not supposed to, and so. Are you familiar? What's that book like? No, David. Do you know that book? No, David. It's like a kid's book about a child who, like, his mom says, like, no, don't touch that, David. That's easily breakable, and he just goes. There's like it's a compulsion, I think, that's maybe overtaken some other things, which I mean, I of all people cannot be too mad about people with poor impulse control, but that was a shame. But I don't consider him in any way hateful toward anybody. I think he loves everyone. I think that he has the same problem that I have, which is that he likes to shock and be outrageous because he likes to delight people, because he wants to spread joy and he wants to see people smile and laugh. And he loves, like, he gets off on that outraged look on people's faces. And I know when I do stuff like that, like, I get a kick out of people kind of like being like, God, I couldn't say that, but I love somebody. Truthfully, that's, if I had to guess, that's what I think motivates him the most, is just he gets a kick out of seeing people go, and I can relate to that. And I don't think I think the Jew thing is just like, it's just a big glittering taboo that somebody like him with the kind of uncancelable talent and scale of celebrity that he has, I just don't think he could resist. I really think, honestly, I mean, like, yes, there's substance to it. There's lots of the things he said, are true. Like a lot of it just is what it is. But I was talking in 2015 when I created Dave Rubin's career with my one interview about the yes, we know, well, Jews overrepresented. Well, yeah, that's all still true. 10 years later, it's more true. But I don't really, if I had to guess, think that's like the motivating impetus if we're going to look at psychology behind the man. I think he's an artist who uses certain means and mechanisms to make people laugh, think, whatever, right? And I think that's one of them. And not to take away from the thought that he's put into it and the sincere opinions that he has, but if I'm going a step beyond that into the psychology, I don't believe anything he does is motivated by some atavistic bigotry against a particular racial group. No, I don't believe that.
Well, you know, Kanye is under fire again because his wife.
Ye in this building,
Yeah,
please.
sorry, we're
That is, excuse me, I'm terrible.
we're in Ye's former bedroom.
I'm
Yeah,
just
not
telling
Kanye.
you, you're in a man's bedroom. You can't be doing that. Like,
Yeah,
listen. The K word.
Yeah.
The K word is a horrible offense. You know,
Oh.
when I was chief of staff, which is pretty, you know, I'm just saying, you say that word in front of him, you out. You know?
Wow, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, so excuse me.
Would you like to start that again?
Yeah, I'll start it again.
Okay. Just to take another
Take a
run
step
at that.
back. Correction. Correction. Sorry, don't kill me. So I see that Ye is under fire again because his wife Bianca.
Did you say I see that?
What?
What?
A little bit. I'm half black.
Do you see like how thick? You know, we've saged it, we've exercised, but still he's here.
Yeah.
Still he's here. Still he's here, and he's giving you a black scent. He's giving you a black scent. I see that. What? Who is she?
Yeah,
Where did that come from, bro?
I don't know, man. New York, maybe Atlanta. I don't know.
I think, look, let's take a third run at this.
We're South Central.
Let's, yeah, you had to tell people that. Why couldn't you tell people my office was in Beverly Hills? Or oh, it's in the hidden. No, we down here with Milo Yiannopoulos, South Central, y'all. What? So sorry, I'm just. He's in us all. He's in us all. Yeah, is that you? Sorry. Would you like to take a third run?
So let me make this nice and
Because
correct.
you don't talk like the you're nice, Mr. He's sort of finance. Now he's this.
All right.
You're a nice boy from a nice home with a good background. Don't be doing all that.
All right.
Come on.
You can't get one by, man. All right. I read.
Caucasian.
Yeah.
Caucasian. Let me try. Give me the words and I'll answer. What's the words?
I read that. Yeah.
I read that.
Ye. Wife, Bianca.
You're doing it again.
Oh no.
You're doing it again. I read that Ye wife. It's Ye's wife. It's a possessive. So in English, it's apostrophe S. I read that Ye wife Bianca. What are you doing? Should we move?
No.
Should we go somewhere else? Should we go somewhere? We need to get. Can somebody get me to set Sebastian? Can we get me some sage up in here?
All right. Let's try this.
I read that Ye's wife Bianca.
I read that Ye's wife Bianca was accused. He's under fire again because his wife
got sued.
Yeah, his wife.
We got sued.
His wife was sending
No,
porn.
no. Don't finish that sentence, please, because it's not true.
No. His wife was accused of sending porn to employees. But some people asked for a lawsuit. I would have asked for a job application.
Shut the fuck up. No. Listen.
All right.
There's a simple reason why that couldn't have happened. Like why she couldn't have been sending Yeezy porn to underage, whatever the hell it was, because it doesn't exist. You know, and I know that because I quit over it. No, I mean, so I will tell you this: Bianca, who I refer to as the lady of the house, is. I mean, I think she's the best thing in the Chief's life. I think she's a phenomenal, very brilliant woman. Who, I mean, think about like, she's one of the most talked about women in the world. She completely dictated the fashion at the Met Gala this year, right? Everybody came dressed as Bianca Censori, right? And she has accomplished all of this without ever giving an interview. Nobody knows what she thinks about anything. Nobody has ever discovered an opinion of hers. I mean, I know what a lot of them are, but you don't. Nobody does, right?
Yeah.
Because she has accomplished all of this through the visual language of her outfits, of her costumes, right? She has communicated something about who and what she is that has mesmerized people, right? There's a reason that he married her, and it's because she is in her own right absolutely brilliant. And I loved working with her. I thought she was amazing. And the thought that she would... Very wrong. I was named in that lawsuit, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because I was the CEO, the closest thing to at Yeezy while all that was going down, and it's full of the craziest stuff.
What?
So this claim is made by somebody who faked a job history at Yeezy. His LinkedIn has like 10 paragraphs about how he worked at Yeezy. He never worked at Yeezy unless I did the payroll. I was like, unless I was in a fugue state every Tuesday afternoon and I just don't remember Shamar on the payroll. Like, you never worked for us. You did not work at the company. So he made up this whole history, made up these lies about whatever. He said that I was racist because I sent black employees black emojis. I sent everybody black emojis. Excuse me. I've never officially been given an N-word pass, and I don't want to endanger your channel but he's like, thank you. How about you don't? by hard R-ing, although I feel perfectly entitled and comfortable to do so. By osmosis, really. Yeah. I got my N-word pass by osmosis. Yeah. No.
Would you do it?
It's a sex joke.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He liked it.
Yeah, he loves it when people say it. Well, he said. I think he once said specifically to me, "I only let people say if they've had inside of them," which is everybody on this group chat. It was me and his wife.
No holds bar here, folks.
I'm terribly sorry.
No holds bar.
I didn't know this was a family show.
Oh man!
Which brings us neatly to ex-gay. No, I'm sorry. So,
what you were talking about, Bianca and the Shamar employee. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Just So there's a bunch of things at the moment. If you want to read the chapter and verse, I've given plenty of quotes about it to the press. But the idea that she would send this stuff out to like whatever, she's a very private person, and the reason I'm saying like she never gave interviews or whatever, she's a person who communicates so lightly and subtly and through her art. You know, like the idea that she would be sending porn to random employees. I mean, stop. Just stop. It's so stupid. No, never happened.
If my boss had tits like that, I would show up and
you're doing it again.
No, I'm just saying.
You're doing it again. Okay. You're doing it again.
If my boss
had tits like that, why are you doing this? You don't sound. Are you trying to sound cool for me?
No, all right.
Do you think I'm cool? Are you trying to sound cool for me?
No, man.
Are you trying to be ghetto because you're in South Central?
No, I'm saying.
My boss had tits like that because it sounds a little bit more.
How do you know from a British guy?
Black,
as a British
I just
guy.
got a good ear, and I can tell that you went to a good school, and you don't really sound like that.
All right. You can't stop calling me out, bro.
No, I'm just a nice. I'm just listen. I have already done you the great courtesy of thank you. I've done you the great courtesy of explaining it away as the lingering spirit of Ye.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That's what it is. It's the
Yeah. Okay, so I'll try this again.
The holy Ye spirit? No, I shouldn't say that.
If I say this in Ye's
please stop, please.
I say this in Ye's former bedroom. We're talking about what happened with the lawsuit.
Now you're a different kind of black. Now you're Baltimore.
Okay,
Could you please choose a kind of Negro you want to be and just sound like that?
Listen, bro.
Oh my God.
If my boss had tits like Bianca
I don't want
and was sending me porn, I would show up to work late the next day. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you made that joke already. Actually,
what do you think about that issue?
Well, funnily enough,
Milo,
we have a pair of Bianca's breasts here in the office. There's a not sort of they don't regrow. So she's like a centipede. You could just chop them off and then grow new ones in the morning. No.
we're not allowed to shoot over there, though, right?
You're not, because there are new garments over there. But we have a silicone mold of the lady of the house's extraordinary natural assets over there somewhere. So I'll show you afterwards. I'll show you off camera. Sorry, guys.
So what's the relationship now with Ye? How is it?
We text, sometimes in a friendly way, sometimes in a less friendly way.
Because you're both so eccentric. I would just imagine, because you're both so eccentric and like strong personality. How would you guys? Is it just a mutual respect?
He gave me a compliment that has stuck with me because he doesn't give out a lot. Really. If Ye wants to give you a really good compliment, he'll say you're like him. you know. Sorry, it's not going to get better. No way. Sorry, can't tell you. If Ye wants to give you a compliment, like a really good compliment, like he really wants to let you know that he f's with you. Sorry, I don't know if this is okay for language, but he'll compare you to himself, right? So he'll say that somebody has like a mutant power, you know, because he likes to because he thinks of himself in that way. So like, oh, this guy's got like a mutant power for contracts or a mutant power for whatever. He said to me that I have a similar he didn't say facility, but he said a similar gift with language that he has in music and fashion. I'm like,
That was nice of him.
taking that one to the bank. You know, like, okay, I'm good for life. Yeah. So that was a very lovely compliment, and I think that you know, I like to tell this story that is not true, but well, it is kind of, but I won't tell you how true it is.
Have you ever shared this before?
I like to tell, yeah, no, I haven't.
Exclusive.
No, I haven't. I like to tell the story that is
first.
somewhat true about how, you know, I said to you, I don't listen to black music and I don't care for these ghastly clothes, but I think I could help you in a number of ways. And, you know, he looks at me like he's about to push my head through the wall. But I mean, I was head chorister at Canterbury Cathedral. I'm a classically trained musician, and I don't have as many Grammys as him, but you know, I recognize beauty, truth, goodness, greatness when I see it and when I hear it in disciplines that I might not be an expert in. Okay, so you know, I have a very good education, and I know a little thing or two about music. So I was able to recognize him as somebody who is truly great, you know, versus the majority of hip hop, rap, trash, which, you know, like sometimes the fans text me because my number gets leaked so often. They're like, "What do you think about Obama?" I said, "I really don't follow black celebrities, but I don't, you know, like I don't follow anybody else except." I did always kind of like have an eye on him. In fact, when my first book came out in 2016, someone called me the Kanye West of journalism. I always had an eye on him because I recognized that he was a bit apart. And you are a sort of Middle Eastern-ish, although you sound black now,
African.
Occasionally,
yeah,
depending, you know, so various states.
Well,
but anyway, I was going to say is, you know, the Ye is regarded with great awe and reverence and no small amount of kind of lasciviousness almost in the Middle East in particular, because they see him as being, you know, in a league above. They see him as kind of like the crown jewel of Western popular culture. So, for instance, you know, if they can persuade him to build his drone cities in Dubai instead of in America, it is a signal that everything that the Muslim world has been trying to communicate about the West, you know, ossifying, decaying West versus the land of optimism, hope, and opportunity in the Middle East, is true, because the pickiest, most demanding, greatest artist in the West shows us, you know, like they're very into like getting, you know, like embedded in the Middle East with varying degrees of success. Not too much yet, but I think he's, you know, I think it'll end up there, especially because of what he said about the tribe. You know, I think probably realistically speaking, Europe and America are going to be shrinking markets for him in the decades to come, and I think the BRICS countries are going to be the growth markets for him. So he's going to have to decide, you know, if he wants to live in Singapore or Abu Dhabi, right? They regard him with great reverence and respect, because I think what it is they see Ye's talent as a similar kind of burden to they see the black gold, you know, like it's something from Allah. It's like a gift from God that's come down, that's like given them this great power and ability, but it's also like a curse as well, because, you know, any member of the Saudi or the you know, the UAE, whatever, you know, any of the royal families, everywhere they go, everybody wants to like meet them, but only because they want money, right? So it's this terrible curse, and I think they see him as somebody who's similarly burdened, who's touched by the angels in a way that gives him enormous power, but also is like, you know, is a torment in other ways, right? So I've always considered him to be a breed apart, as it were, from his cohort, from his musical kind of cohort, which I think is true. And so, you know, I have great respect for him as an artist. been in the room for hours and hours, for years with him, and it's an extraordinary experience to watch him create. To watch him, whether he's got 50 different t-shirts out on the floor, and I couldn't tell the difference between like 4 of them. But I learned with him many things, but I learned with him there's such a thing as too much forgiveness, but that's for another day. I learned for him that I learned to fine-tune my antenna a little bit with him, visually, orally. But I loved watching him work. The extent, the lengths he will go to seek perfection. Like, there's an apocryphal story. I can't remember if I made this up or if it's true. I genuinely don't know. But this happens sometimes. But I think I made it up. But there's a story that, or maybe it predates me by a ton, and people are going to be like, "Excuse me, you made that up?" Forgive me. I honestly don't recall right now. But there's a story that he asked someone to go to the UK to collect a bunch of different kinds of dirt to get just the right shade for a shirt. And I can't remember if I made it up or if it's real, but that's the level we're talking about, right? He will happily spend 20 grand on somebody to go and collect soil samples from the UK, and he'll spend 50 if you can do it in 24 hours, so that he can have the dirt on the floor and be like, that's the one. It's Staffordshire Staffordshire limestone, blah, 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 blah. That's the color I want my shirt, that's the length he'll go to. And so I've always had a great respect for that, and so we had that mutual respect. We communicate infrequently, but if I want him, he replies to most things, but if I want him to reply, I just have to make him laugh. There's always something.
You guys, would you and Ye have would you guys just go have dinner and joke around like this?
Honestly, No, because I don't really go out. He and I talked all day, every day, but remotely mostly. I think from what you were saying, the big personality thing, I think together we would find each other grating after a while, and I certainly experience that now and again. I'm just like, really? We're going to hear this story again? And he's like, really? You're going to do this, that? Yeah, I could see it between the two of us. I'm just like, oh dear, I should go home. I could see it bubbling, because he doesn't, well, never mind, but so I worked almost exclusively remotely from my house. It's me and my cats working 20-hour days, keeping the empire running, but very, very well. And you see, my medium is words, so I'm able to communicate with him in a way that conveys so much more than pages of babble from other people. I think he appreciated that I instantly understood what he was getting at and where he wanted to go and how to get there and what to do. And I would, because I have that facility with language, the subjects, a great compliment. He just knew that I had it taken care of. And he's a huge micromanager. There's nobody in the company that he would ever let just get on with it except me. And so I had great leeway from him to do whatever. And that trust was a great, I wouldn't say a burden. I took it seriously, and I was grateful for it, and I did right by him because he just let me get on with it.
There was a CNBC interview you did about 7 years ago, and I recommend everybody look at it, where Milo is talking about what's about to come in the United States, and it's amazing how accurate you were in seeing how things were. I don't know if you remember what you said on CNBC.
No, but
it was incredibly accurate.
That's a compliment I get a lot because I have the kind of brain I have.
And you were doing it when it wasn't as fashionable as it is in 2024. I mean, mind you were doing this in
No, you were talking about cancel culture for the interview. I was like, yeah, give me a break, bro. But I meant it nicely. But no, because it's my God. No, but
Alpha King right here, Milo.
No, he was trying to tell me about cancel culture. He's like, oh, really? Oh,
he's been more canceled than me.
Please tell me more about this shadow banning that you speak of. What is shadow banning, and should we fear it? I'm just like, okay, bro. People sometimes forget they're talking to you. No. I am. Sorry, what was the question?
No, it's just it was just how amazingly accurate you were.
I lose myself in making fun of people. I can't remember what they asked me.
He's been trolling me the whole day since we got
no,
here.
no, I have. No, that's not
Trolling
true.
me when I went. Yeah.
I won't tell you what happened when you got here because it would be discourteous of me as an Englishman to make fun of somebody like that. I don't like to make fun of the disabled, nor intrude on private grief. So we'll leave it there. But I don't like to. That doesn't mean I don't. We'll see. No, sorry, I feel like edging forwards. I don't know why I'm doing that. The kind of brain I have, I'm good at people and systems. So I'm not really a CEO. I'm more of a COO. You know, like I'm an operations guy, people and systems. And the reason for that is that I have one of those pattern matching brains because I read everything all the time and I pay attention to everything all the time and I notice everything all the time. And the result of that is that I have these bazillions of patterns in my mind of like, I've seen this before. This led to this, and then they did this. So I know what's coming next. You know, like I know what people are going to do next because I've read so much history and because I pay attention to people and I notice like I can tell things about people that they're like, how could you possibly know that? And it's like because people are not that complicated. Because I've seen a bitch with it before, and I've seen a guy with it before, and I've seen this that. And it's like I don't find people terribly difficult to predict. Because I have this like constantly churning like super. I don't know. I shouldn't refer to my own brain as a supercomputer, although I can because it's the Holy Spirit. It's not me. Thanks for that one. But no, but it's like it's monumental and crazy to like be trying to marshal it sometimes. But the point is this: I can, without using clairvoyance or the demons, tell the future a little bit, in the sense that anyone who knows enough history can. Why are you listening to me? I turn Siri off every day, every single day, and every day she's back. Mm-hmm. I can see around. Let me rephrase that. I can see around corners and see what's coming and sense danger on the horizon that no one else can see yet because I have this like pattern matching brain. You know, like I've seen or I've read or I've learned about this contour, this pattern of events before. I think one of the reasons that Ian and I don't work together anymore is that although he is an incredibly unpredictable and mercurial and creative person, and it took me a lot longer to figure him out than it took me to figure most people out. I did figure him out, you know, and I don't think he liked having somebody around who knew what he was going to do next, and I always did, so, you know, and I didn't always maybe like conceal that well enough, but the last thing that he would ever want to be is predictable, you know. And there was an occasion or two where I was like, yeah, I knew you were going to do that, so I prepared the contract. You know, most people would be like, wow, that's amazing, thank you, but I don't think he liked it that much.
Were you the one that put Nick Fuentes and Ye together?
Alas, for my sins, yes, I've been to confession about it. There will never be enough Hail Mary said. Ave Maria, gracia plena, Dominus tecum. I was like every night, I'm like Ave Mariaing myself to sleep. Nick Fuentes, I was his mentor when I saw promise in him. When I thought that maybe he could complete my legacy in politics because I got taken out so early. Like I had a very vertiginous rise. I was like went from nothing to being on Bill Maher in like 2 years. I killed, you know, feminism pretty much single-handed. You don't hear about campus rape culture anymore. You don't hear about the wage gap anymore. You don't hear about any of this bullshit anymore because I beat it all basically single-handed in 2 years, you know? So I had this like very, very, very steep rise. And then, of course, I helped Trump get in office, and the chief operating officer of his 2016 campaign said, "You're one of the 7 people who put him in office," which I don't take very seriously. But it's a nice compliment. It means something, you know. That was something. I knew that it was coming from me because I had won too much and achieved too much and done too much. I was like, they're gonna take me out. So no, I just did it. It's Ye. It's not you. It's Ye. It's Ye. They're gonna take me out. It's not you. It's not you. I knew they were going to come for me. They did. You know, they trumped up some. I was trying to make sense of my experience being raped by a priest, and I said some words that I hate now that I look back on them. I'm like, oof, did I say that? And I despise that they tumbled out like that. Anyway, so they took me off the field for a while, and so I saw in Nick maybe like the possibility that I could, sort of complete my legacy, as it were. It quickly became apparent that this was a person who allows his rage to make his decisions for him, right? And who allows his resentment, envy, jealousy, fury to drive all of his decision making. And the way that he's crashed and burned and devolved into someone who just defrauds his fans now. And I'm not talking about like the usual influencer shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The usual influencer stuff of like not shipping the shirts, right? Because frankly, I've been guilty of that myself in the past, to my shame. No, I'm not proud of it, but I've done that myself in the past when I just didn't have it together. Kind of like when you were setting up today. Like I just wasn't really like just joking. I'm just kidding. I made a joke at the beginning. I said, "You can tell me if this is your first podcast. I won't be judgmental." No, I was just kidding, because he's in a new environment with terrible Wi-Fi, and actually, to be honest with you, I'm amazed this worked at all. So no, it's not your fault. No, but like there have been moments in my life when I didn't have it together, and I didn't ship the stuff out people pay for, and I'm just like. Right, still like, I don't even know how I would go about fixing that. I don't know how I would find the customer list now, because I've been through so many managers. That dude does haunt me a little bit, But we're not talking about that. I mean, this guy planned just recently, just now, planned to not hold an event. I mean, look, okay. Do you know Detroit at all? Have you been to Detroit? Probably, because you've picked up the accent.
Oh, never, but I want to go.
Well, so they have black people in Detroit.
Yeah.
So you might want to go there to add to your roster, to your Rolodex.
Or my lingo, vernacular.
Yeah.
I haven't mastered the black man from the Midwest dialect yet. Got the New York City, Atlanta, Georgia. I can't do the black man from Detroit. I'm for King Nima part black though,
Do you mean to tell me of all the black accents that we've heard today, you don't have Motown down?
No, I've never been to Detroit, man. I don't got the Midwest.
Of all the black accents, we don't have the Jacksons.
No.
Okay, so
we're talking about the gay event with the gayers, the pedophile cult that Nick Fuentes has.
America First is a sort of a loose cloak.
The failure.
Around Nick. Oh, all right.
I'm sorry.
Do I look like I need help?
No, I'm saying the event that flops.
America First is a sort of loose cloak around Nick's personality defects at this point. So look, he plans. Listen, so Detroit, right? Every venue in Detroit is owned by Chaldean, some people say Chaldean, Iraqis, Christians, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they would probably object to the description, but basically Arab Christians, right? They don't like to be called Arabs, but every venue, everywhere. There's that guy Zia something, owns every venue and owns the venue. Now, there's something that these people have in common. The Muslims of Dearborn and the blah blah blah. Like you think about, I'm thinking about like Detroit generally. Okay, I'm thinking about all the various ethnic groups in Detroit. You can go out for really good Persian food in Detroit. You get all of these like Chaldean. What they all have in common is they're not huge fans of the tribe. They're not massive Jew lovers. Let's be honest, right? They don't. On Good Friday, if you go to a very traditional Catholic church, you will pray for Judeis Perfidies on Good Friday. The perfidious Jews. It's not in the more modern liturgy. But at least you're praying for them. No, you won't even get that among a lot of the communities. Right? So I'm just saying, the normal communities that would have Nick Fuentes cancelled are not really in Detroit. So you have to you have to really be a fuck up to get cancelled from Detroit as an anti-Semite. It's quite a difficult thing to do. You go into Detroit as an anti-Semite, bro. Somebody came up to me in the street and high-fived me because they thought I was a neo-Nazi because people think crazy stuff about me. And it's it looks like he's like, and I said, I'm not a neo-Nazi. He said, what's the matter with you, you fucking bugger? I said, of course you're neo-Nazi, they're Jews. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what accent that was. I don't know who he was, but you get the idea. Yeah. Anyways, I think I went a bit Indian subcontinent there. Sorry, but no, but it's difficult to get cancelled as an anti-Semite in Detroit. I'm just saying. Nick Fuentes manages it. Why? Because it's on purpose.
Because what?
He's on purpose.
Oh.
There's no speakers at his AFPAC thing, right? There's no one in town for him, right? If that event had been intended to proceed, there'd be speakers. There was nobody there. The after party was just him, right? Wouldn't there be speakers in town speaking at his speaking event like the previous years? Except, but anyway, so he gets canceled on purpose. And then all of his lieutenants start saying, "You're disloyal if you ask for a refund."
Wow.
Like, if you ask for a refund, we're gonna. They start threatening to dox ticket holders who were asking for refunds. Is that astonishing? So we've moved on from not just not having your SH1T together to just active, actual, unambiguous, undeniable fraud. Wire fraud, actually. I mean, it's a criminal offense, to say nothing of his friend Ali Alexander, who Nick Fuentes has run cover for, bullied Groypers into recanting testimony about, and much worse than that. I have two young men who, I have 26 of these guys who have told me their stories, and I pass them on to law enforcement, and then I drop them in public, when I feel like it. When I wake up and Nick's annoyed me that day, but no, there's this one guy who has had, well, I know they're both watching this, so Ali, Nick. There is a...
Hi, Nick.
There's a young man.
Yeah.
There's a young man. You know who he is, Ali. Tell Nick who he is. Just reach over and tell him. I think reaching over is how I got into this mess. There's a young man who has astonishingly grotesque and serious internal medical issues as a result of being drugged and raped by Ali Alexander. And I'm not talking about the 9-year-old that he groomed and then forcibly sodomized when he was 12. I'm talking about a different guy. There's a guy who was 17, 18, who has horrific injuries that have left him not just psychologically, psychiatrically, but physically, when this guy visits the bathroom, there are consequences to what Ali did to him every day. And there will be for the rest of his life.
And Nick Fuentes knew?
And Nick Fuentes not only knows about it all, but he bullies people into recanting their testimony about Ali.
When I was on a show with him,
you were on with him. You're one of the only people that ever landed a blow on him.
Thanks, man.
No.
Yeah, I asked Nick Fuentes about Ali Alexander, and when I did that about a year ago or so, people were like, "Oh," then he was like, "What about Ali?"
Yeah, pretending like he doesn't know.
now I feel vindicated by it. You and by other people finally seeing that this is going on.
Well, I'm the person who exposed all this before that. So however you heard about it, in a roundabout way, you heard about it originally from me.
Wow.
Because I'm the guy who released all the stories of the victims a couple of years ago. So it's okay that you didn't know.
Well, credit Milo.
No, it's fine.
Thank you for calling it out, man. For the
no, it's not about the credit. It's just important that people understand how these things work. But so I continue to release victim testimony and will continue to do so. So I'm the guy that took Ali Alexander out of public life. So the next stage of that is so there's a really short list of reasons why Nick might be protecting him,
Yeah.
And they're not good, and they start bad and get worse real quick. Like Ali's got compromat on him. That could be a reason. Maybe Nick, he has footage of Nick jacking off the gate. Could you not tell me that, boy, etc., etc.? Give me a break.
Yeah.
But it goes quickly downhill from there. And very soon, 2 or 3 explanations in, you get to, they're into the same stuff. Because it's not just that he turns a blind eye to Ali and has him as his chief advisor and tried to replace me with him at Yeezy. And I'm just like, how did that work out? It's not just that. It's that he actively covers and covers up the crimes. That's complicity. That's it's felony. But but that's that anyway. So there's a criminal investigation into Nick Fuentes' best friend Ali in 2 states now, thanks to me, Texas and Colorado. and that criminal investigation.
Nick is under criminal investigation.
No, Ali.
Oh.
But that investigation is now about to expand to Washington, D.C., Louisiana, and Florida. So he'll be under investigation in 5 states. And in at least 2 cases that we know about, Nick Fuentes was bullying and intimidating and threatening to wreck the lives of people who have told their stories about Ali Alexander. One guy who's a groyper who's known as Smiley, who told his story about Ali, and Nick basically just set the hounds on him in retaliation. And another guy who's it's kind of like a minor TikToker called Lance Videos, who told a story about Ali, and Nick Fuentes tried to just trash his reputation in retaliation. I mean, there's only so many explanations as to why somebody might do that. Why somebody who considers themselves like presidential material, well, or at least used to, somebody who has such enormous aspirations as Nick used to, would risk everything to protect this, like, you know, hideous, morally and physically, man who has sex with little children.
You know, Nick Fuentes said that all Jews control the world and all blacks commit all the violent crime.
I mean, that's largely true.
But do you think he's like an inbred racist that looks at child porn and has a thing for torture and chains? Or what is it?
No, I mean, broadly speaking, both of those statements are correct about the United States. They're not correct when you go out elsewhere in the world. Neither of them really hold true in many other places because of the. I mean, look, black crime, if you want to put it like that, in America is a specifically American, African American phenomenon, right? You grow up like I did in London, and you're surrounded by Jamaicans, Nigerians. It's like a shouldn't use the expression different species, should I? No, but it's like these black people are not like those black people. They're like completely different. So the black crime thing is basically true in America, but it's a particular function of the way that slavery came to an end here. It was really messed up, right? The way that they did it. In Britain, when slavery came to an end, and you're gonna have to forgive the way I phrase this, but I'm just, speaking like, just try to listen to the substance and not get upset about the words, but property owners were compensated for what you might call eminent domain, right? So in Britain, emancipation was treated as eminent domain, right? So the government said, right, we're no longer allowing you to own people, but we're going to give you what the market value of what you consider that property to be worth, and these people are going to become, a part of our society. They're going to be given the dignity they deserve. They're going to be, emancipated. But we're not going to create a situation where there's like, half the, all the 75% of the slave owners being, of course, Jewish, unfortunately, and the other 25% white. Like, we're not going to set a situation where they all feel like they've been robbed. Right? I'm just trying to cast your mind back to how people may have thought when slavery was legal, right? Yeah. Of how they might have thought about African Americans, yeah? They might have thought they were being robbed in some way of their property, right? Of their chattel, okay? So Britain took the approach of like, well, okay, let's treat it like eminent domain, like when the government says we have to buy your house because we're building a railroad, right? You don't have any choice. This is happening whether you like it or not, but we'll pay market value, right? I know this is not comfortable, but that's how they figured out to do emancipation in Britain. In America, it's just like, now, well, what the hell do you think's going to happen? And then, of course, all these other terrible things happen. Like, they start busing black people around the country to places that don't make any sense, putting them in these terrible gray apartment blocks in Chicago and turning, like overnight ghettos in cities they don't have any relation to and don't belong to and don't relate to. Like shipping black people all over the country. The way that America ended slavery, and then force feeding them, trash like weed and jazz and hip hop. The way that this was done in America, like, created the black crime problem, created the dysfunctional culture in Black America, right? My theory about it is that this was done to black people on purpose to avoid them reconnecting with their African heritage, because they would have become too dangerous if they had reclaimed that the like the power of their African heritage, right? Like if they had become Africans again, you'd have a problem on your hands, like 1 in 10 of the population, like suddenly realizes like where they're from, like you got a problem, and oh, you did what to us just now? Okay, let's go, but if you get them all drugged and hooked on hypnotic music, and the dads are all like, pissing off and all, sodding off after they have kids and everything, you just create this incredibly dysfunctional, wrecked culture. Then these people are manageable, and they're not so much of a problem. You can just get, you get them hooked on various different kinds of hypnosis and drugs and whatever. So I think the black crime thing is real, and it's an American problem, and it's an American created problem, right? Jewish hegemony in many industries, as I have said since 2015, sorry about it, is true. I mean, it's true. But look elsewhere in the world. I think the problem with Nick Fuentes is that his horizons are so narrow and so small, right? I don't necessarily think that his analysis is completely and utterly wrong. I don't. I think his analysis is totally wrong. To the extent that he has a coherent one, I think it's falling apart now because he's starting to panic and he's not really sure where he belongs anymore. He's talking about, he talks about Jewish power, but to the extent that what he's saying is true, and there is a disproportionate, blah blah blah, and these people do seem to always be doing this kind of stuff, and to the extent that it might be true that people just keep noticing, and you can't stop them, that people with precious metals in their surnames are the ones doing all the bad stuff, like this. I mean, you can't stop people noticing a little bit, right? But to the extent that was ever true, his message is now getting lost because now you hear the same things from Charlie Kirk. You hear the same things from everybody. So why do we need Nick Fuentes, these damaged goods, that's like this untouchable damaged goods? And so he's starting to panic, and now his message is sort of falling apart. And what he ought to have done would be to read more history, learn more about more of the world, understand why it is that the black community might be like this, and suggest how you could actually fix that in a realistic way, rather than just just hating people, And on the Jewish question,
JQ.
On the JQ,
yeah.
So we're supposed to say JQ. This won't make it JQ, will it?
Yeah.
On that, I just feel. Just a little part of me just feels like everything that comes out of his mouth feels like sour grapes. It's like, I'm sorry, are they better than you at that? Is that your fault? Their fault? Sorry, is it their fault they beat you? It's like, part of me does feel a bit like that. And yes, I'm a very serious Catholic and I'm a Christian, and I think that there have been Jewish people in positions of great power in America who have done really, really messed up stuff. And they have said that they did it because of their Judaism. And they've said that they did it because they hated Christ. And I'm thinking particularly about pornographers, and the damage they've done to society, right? They said they do it because they hate the Catholic Church and because they hate Jesus Christ. They've said it on the record. They've said it seriously. They've said it, right? And I believe them. I believe them when they tell me that's what their motivation was. And those are the people that I would like to see swinging from City Hall. I would like to see them hanged, and as a warning to others. That much is fine, but what Nick Fuentes' thing is devolved now into is anything that anybody says that's critical of Nick, the response is, "You're a Jew." And that's a level of idiocy that drives away anybody of good character, anybody of any intelligence, anybody with any love of subtlety or whimsy or whatever. So any valid criticism he might in the past have had is impossible any longer to discern from the wave of hateful noise. And I don't use hateful lightly, because I was called the pop star of hate by Libre Gaston, the French newspaper, and that is a title that I wear with great pride, right? But in his case, it's actually just true, because he's somebody that's ruled by rage. I learned recently, and I'm starting to work out why. I mean, I can't believe 2 years as his mentor, I didn't realize this, but I'm starting to work out why he's so angry. Did you know he had a circumcision as an adult?
He had circumcision.
Yeah, as an adult, for medical reasons, and was on hormone replacement therapy.
Wow.
He took testosterone.
Wow.
What that means, if you have that in adulthood, it means you've got something misshapen, and you can't retract properly. Like you're whatever. So I said on Twitter the other day, people bang on about Nick Fuentes and how I'm like obsessed with Nick and I never shut up about Nick, but there's one thing I've got that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Foreskin.
Oh my god.
I think I put an Israeli flag afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you have a clothing? You have a clothing.
In the corner,
There's some nice young ladies here.
No. There's like, yeah. He brought with him this such like sweet, presentable, lovely young ladies.
Hello to the ladies.
I don't want you to do that. Come on, that is not chivalrous.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a gentleman about it, you pig.
Yeah.
God. No. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was trying to be a gentleman about it. But they're just in the corner going, ooh. I mean, yeah, but ooh. I'm sorry, ladies. I didn't intend for that.
Well,
That's on him. I did it again. I'm not good. We need more than sage from this place.
the reason I talk, if you want to know the truth,
The reason I talk.
hell.
You know, you sound like you're from The Color Purple. You told Harpo to hit me.
He's making jokes. He's making
I
jokes.
may be ugly, but I's free.
He's making jokes that I talk like a black guy. But I'd like to say, do you want to know? You know, in reality, it is the truth. No, Milo, seriously. The reason I talk black is because my dad left me when I was a kid.
We're gonna have to do better than that. I thought you said you were a comedian.
My joke's falling, man. My jokes are falling, man. My jokes are falling.
I feel bad for you.
Sheesh.
I feel bad for you.
I'm not getting any viral clips today, bro. This is a rough audience. This is the worst nightmare of saying jokes.
No, try it again. Give it to me again. I'm gonna respond as charitably as I can. Just try it again. Why you sound so black all the time?
The reason I talk like I'm black is because my dad left me when I was a kid. Yeah, bro. How does he make this more? How is he Alpha King Nima, Alpha King and Milo me, bro? How is this happening on my own show, bro? This is my show, bro.
That's sad.
Come on,
That's
man.
sad.
It's my show.
Should we move on?
Move on, man. So you have a clothing line called X Gay.
Well, it's possibly in the works. I've been teasing some things, although I'm already more interested in the offshoot line X Blacked, which I have been wearing around.
But I'm just saying, you're an ex gay. You're an ex gay now. We got to talk about that.
I am a former homosexual.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm safe. Bro, this is the guy that would throw tomatoes at you if you're on stage, bro.
No, I would.
Man.
I'd have to be at your show to do that.
Yeah.
On current performance.
All right, so go ahead. X-Gay. No, but a clothing line.
I mean, I might accidentally wander into the open mic night. I mean, I don't know where you're playing at, but
no, man. I gotta get one right here, bro.
It's not Madison Square Garden now, is it?
Bro.
Sorry. Let me try to be supportive. Again, please.
So you're an ex-gay, right?
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm safe.
All right. So comedy is when you say something unexpected or in a different register or mode or subvert expectations in a manner in which is likely to produce laughter. Okay?
I'm not getting any laughs today.
In this first lecture on comedy, we're going to be covering some of the basic types of comedy, how to be funny. Shut the fuck up, Siri. We're going to be covering how to be funny. All right. And we're going to hope that by the end of this series that you may be able to tell a joke. Okay. Have you ever heard a joke before?
Never.
Have you ever heard a joke? Ladies, have you heard a joke before? Not from him, obviously, but have you ever heard a joke? You have a joke? Tell me a favorite joke. You young lady, tell me your favorite joke.
Oh my God. Putting me on the spot. No.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Either of you.
No.
All right, fine. Well, I'll shut up.
Yeah.
You said the good nature just started to get a little bit angry.
I'm just not getting it.
He went quiet, and I'm like, I should shut up. No, come on, bro. Come on, man. Let's go. Next question.
All right. I do have a question. If I were in a meeting,
You are funny.
thanks.
Not to me, but you are funny. I've seen you be funny, just not to me. You know, like when you say like, no, honey, you're a straight 10, not my type, but you know, like, you are funny. I want you to know that you're funny, and I want you to. No, please, it's not a joke. I want you to take home with you tonight that confidence, that certainty that you're funny, because you are funny, just not to me.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, so
To
back.
somebody.
I can ask questions again.
Maybe to people who work out and have like those podcasts where they like, you know, like people who like exercise all the time and think that it also makes them interesting. Like there's all these people that have like podcasts. You've been on some of them. I think I've seen you on some. Yeah, you know, like, I'm just like, oh, do you think abs give you a personality? Because no. You know, like, I've seen a lot of things.
Well, I have a question. If I were in a meeting sitting next to a gay man and I accidentally drank from his coffee cup thinking it was mine,
Yes, you'll catch it.
yeah, would his saliva make me gay too?
Yes. That's why you have to burn them. You see, that was a joke. That was a joke, you see. Somebody said to me the other day, I can't believe after all the dicks you've dicked, how you're not more compassionate. I've got friends who'd be crying if they read what you're saying about homosexuals. I said, I wouldn't hear them over the sound of the fire, girl.
I have whatever he's having right now. You know what I mean? Whatever you're having, bro, you going hard.
I'm not having nothing. I'm having nothing for 3 years. That's the problem. That's why I got so much energy all the time. No, I'm having a lot of problems. I never had any spontaneous nocturnal emissions when I was a teenager. I do now. I'm sorry. Ladies, you shouldn't be here. No, you know, like teenagers get that.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I
never had. I never had that.
Yeah.
Probably because I started too young, but no. I'm doing fine though. Thanks for asking. I'm doing right with it. You just want to make it a joke, but it's actually a very serious part of my life because I noticed that the things that I was doing that were hurting me were related. You know, the way Christians would put it is like when let one sin in, the others will follow. You know, and so I was drinking too much and maybe other things and living in a self-destructive way that was stopping me from accomplishing things. And when I was kind of, like struggling a little bit, like not knowing really what to do with myself after kind of fluid and all the rest of it. And then, when I came back to the faith of my childhood in a big way and put that behind me, like stop doing that stuff. Suddenly I'm CEO of Kanye West. But it's real. Like my life came together because I wasn't doing this. Like I was no longer engaged in this package of self-destructive behaviors. That's real.
Well, that's deep, man. When I remember hearing about you a lot when Nick Fuentes went.
He's all you want to talk about. He in your head, isn't he?
No. I mean, we just have something in common.
Let me lift it up. What does it say? Oh, he's Nick Fuentes. Yeah, Nick. It's like, do you see my big fat Greek wedding?
No. But I heard about it.
Because supposedly every Greek person is called Nick. So she goes, here's the family is a Nick, and Nick is my cousin Nick and his father Nick and their sons Nick, and Nick. That's all you got up here, isn't it?
No. Well, because you're very vocal about it. But here's my question. Do you think he set up Donald Trump, Nick Fuentes, when he went with
No, I set up Donald Trump. I sent Nick with Ye. Because I felt that everybody who had, and I don't regret it, I do it again. I don't feel any hostility towards the man now. I wouldn't campaign for him again. I don't think he deserves to be president again, although I certainly prefer him over Biden. Sorry to be rude. Well, I'm not. But if I was sorry, I'd stop doing it. I don't bear any hostility or hatred for the president, but I did think he needed a slap, and not many people have managed to give him one, but I did, because when Donald Trump got into office, do you know how the RNC works like in elections? Okay, so what happens is this: when you're a candidate for president, your campaign could be really well funded, and you could have a bunch of good people and operations in every state, but inevitably there'll be some kind of shortfall, some shortcomings, right? So maybe you don't have the kind of built-out operation in Arizona that you suddenly realize you need, because Arizona is more purple than everybody anticipated, right? Meaning it's could go either way. So the RNC has resources, has money, has activists, all the rest of it, and they will fill in gaps in your presidential campaign once you are the nominee, right? Once you're the party's official candidate for president, right? Sorry, that's my text for title or something. They'll fill in the gaps, right? Let me turn it off. Sorry, rappers don't stop texting. They're like girls. No, the whole thing is so feminine. I mean, not about anyone in particular, by the way, but just like so feminine. Like rap battles are really just like poetry slams for people who get too much sex. It's just like, no, do you know what I mean? Like the bling and everything is, oh, that's handbags. Like and the this, that, and the other. Oh, that's like Mean Girls. Like it's literally just high school girls. Like these rappers, it's so feminized and fagotized. It's ridiculous. It's just like, please, could somebody throw a punch? No, it's not. They not like us. They not like I would do my stuff. Give me a break. And I love Kendrick, and he won. But come on, come on. No, the whole thing is the whole thing is fagotized. What was I saying?
We were talking about the setup at Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh yeah. So the RNC will fill in the gaps in your presidential campaign. So they'll, for instance, if you're not very good in Arizona, they'll probably. We got to finish them right now. But they and in proportion to their assistance in the presidential election, they will be given. It's convention that the RNC will get a certain number of appointments in the White House. So let's say, for instance, that the RNC barely helps you at all, like 10% of the operations of the RNC. They might conventionally expect like 1 in 10 senior White House jobs to go to like an RNC guy, right? So the RNC guys include people like Reince Priebus and all the people that kind of like the Trump loyal kind of devotee Trump people were like, why do you have him in your White House? Well, the problem was that Trump had never run for office before, and a lot of the more sophisticated and experienced political people refused to work for him because they're idiots. Until it was too late, when they'd already kind of taken to the. So the RNC ended up doing almost everything, and the RNC was in every state, like doing a huge heavy lift to get Trump elected in 2016. So come to form the administration, and Trump has like no choice. He's got to give all these RNC jobs to people who don't really believe in him, you know. And this is how you get a situation where the White House intern program under Trump was asking people on their first day, are you a fan of Alex Jones or Milo Yiannopoulos? Because if you are, we're escorting you out of the building. I'm sorry, what? Didn't someone just say that I was one of the 7 people that put you in office? Like, what is this about? Like, what are they doing? Well, I held Trump responsible for the devastation that was wrought upon his most effective, most loyal, and most devoted supporters, about which he did nothing in the years after he was elected. I mean, he did nothing in office really anyway. It was one of the biggest disappointments of any president ever in office. Like, we loved the guy culturally. We loved campaigning Trump, but governing Trump was whatever.
Do you think?
So anyway, sorry, I'll be quick. But the point is this: his administration was full of people who hated his guts because the RNC is like, old school, blah blah blah. And therefore, he didn't get anything done. And all the people who, like, I'm not trying to like blow my own horn or whatever, but I will. I was a not insignificant part of making him cool to young people and to getting him in office and to creating the Trump, the meme, whatever. It was like, and when vast swathes of the conservative media sphere and all of the personalities were just shoved off the map, the administration did nothing. And when Trump held a cancellation summit or whatever it was, the social media summit at the White House about cancellation, no one who'd been canceled was invited because they were all too edgy. Like, supposedly, none of us were invited. Not one was invited just to a fucking garden. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Just to a garden party, like, who cares, None of us were invited. The safe people who still had their accounts were invited. So this, for me, I realized and I learned was a great classic characteristic of Trump, which is ingratitude, systematic ingratitude to the people that have done everything for him. And I felt as late as 2 years ago that he needed a slap across the face for that. So I gave him one.
Well, all right. So if it's okay, because I know we're running out of time. Thank you for making time.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time.
Yeah, thanks for making time.
How do you do that? How do you know who you're getting in the morning? Do you just have to wait for him to talk and be like, oh, it's Clarence?
My friend, it's not my wife.
It's not my wife. How would she even know she was marrying? It's like you go up and it's like,
my wife.
Are you gonna say I do or I do? How would you even know that the other personalities are like down to get married?
I don't. All right. He's really enjoying trolling me on my own show. I can't.
Listen. Taunting is how men bond.
Yeah.
It's the locker room.
Yeah.
It's just that you just thought you'd be the alpha.
Yeah, but he was doing this on. He was even doing this off camera.
You didn't have that. Look,
at least being honest.
You showed up. You thought, oh, that little British fag. You didn't. You just thought you were going to be the Don today. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's happened before. Happened before.
Well, Milo, if it's okay, I'm gonna go through some of the live chat and just like
yeah, please. Yeah.
We do like rapid fire, rapid answer.
Oh,
all right.
There you go. Now see that you landed one on me there. You should have left that hanging for a little bit. We're gonna do rapid answer, okay? And then you could have said, that means you have to answer questions inside of like 9.5 minutes.
Yeah.
There we go.
30-second answers.
I gotta help you roast me.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. One person asked, "Who's the gayer Jew?"
Out of the two of us? Well, I'm British, so there's no competition really. I mean, I could be a certified clutch slayer, and I'm British, so I'd still be gayer.
All right. Somebody asked.
The grimace from the corner.
Hold on to see what.
Sorry, I'm not really like comfortable with the lingo yet. That's in the next semester. I have a conversion therapy semester.
Oh my God!
How to talk like a pro. I'm not there yet. I'm sorry.
All right, so here's another question from the live chat. I encourage them. Serious questions, guys. Come on. Other than the fact that we're Jews, please, like some other questions.
Jewish, not really Jewish.
I'm Jew, yeah. You know what I mean?
Is disavow.
So someone would like to know, is Ali pegging Nick?
Who's the top in that relationship? No, it's got to be Nick, because Nick's so angry, like he needs something to take it out on. The funny thing about Ali Alexander is that even though he's a sexual predator and goes after little boys, all the testimony that I've heard from them is when they get in a hotel room together, he just wants to get roiled.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. So when you had Nick Fuentes basically under you in the hierarchy, right?
I'd like you to rephrase that real quick. Nick, yes, Nick was my bitch. Not in a sexual way. Not in a
sexual
He
way.
tried to pretend that I drugged and raped him in a hotel room. What happened was he had a headache and I offered him a Percocet. Because I don't know, I lived in LA too long, I guess. Anyway, no, good question.
All right. What does Milo think about free Assange?
I think Julian Assange is a hero, and I don't like. I don't think this universally about all of the leakers, all of the people that release stuff. And I have written critically about Assange in the past, I must say. But and this is not just about the Hillary emails, but I think WikiLeaks is a good and essential thing. I think it's an essential part of the fourth estate. It's part of the journalism ecosystem, and I think what happened to him is a disgrace.
And this is a question that I have. Do you think Nick Fuentes, because on January 6th,
just breaking the tradition, in a break to our regularly scheduled program,
yeah,
a question about Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, because I have a lot of since
it's almost like you got under your
skin,
skin.
It's like a dorky group of pedophiles that go bot people and
yeah,
ratio you and you make a comment on it.
But you bitch slapped him on a podcast, but you acting like it was the other way around.
No. Can I say something? Because what they do is they try to like ratio you in your own tweet or your own comment.
Oh,
and it's just bots from like China.
No, that's what's got to, isn't it? It's the ratio. It's been the downfall of many great men.
No, Milo, no, I don't.
Many great men, it's been the downfall. They just gets in their head, you know.
No, those guys are a bunch of fucking little girls to me. But here's the question I have for you. Because it's very odd that on January 6th, you see Nick Fuentes commanding his group.
He told people to go into the Capitol. He didn't.
And then he didn't go.
Yeah, well.
So do you think he's a Fed informant?
Of course he's a fucking Fed informant. It's obvious. And there are a million reasons why, not least of which is, and he admitted this to me, he lied about his money getting frozen. He said $500,000 got frozen by the FBI and then fundraised off it for months. Didn't tell his fans that they returned it almost immediately. When was the last time you ever heard of the FBI returning money? When they freeze someone's account, can you ever remember, can anybody like watching this remember a time when the FBI gave someone their money back? When they raided all those mailboxes in Beverly Hills and the FBI just took money, took jewels on the basis of nothing. Do you think any of those people got their shit back without suing? They didn't. When was the last time the FBI gave anybody their money back? They gave Nick Fuentes his money back almost immediately. Nick lied and fundraised for months afterwards, saying they still had it. Why'd they give him his money back? Of course he's a fraud.
Do you think there's thousands of accounts from Russia, China, and other countries like Qatar that have fake bot accounts that support the Gayers, his organization?
No, I don't. I think there are a lot of broken young men looking for answers, and I think Nick Fuentes is the best thing on offer for them. And I think they're real people who deserve better and need better. Somebody
asked, do you think Nick Fuentes basically lied about the no-fly list too?
He did. He told me. So he was. What?
He told you?
Yeah. He was a bitch to an air hostess about masks and got thrown off a plane and was banned from Delta for 6 months. He was never on the no-fly list. That's what happened. Never on the no-fly list. Never happened. Just told people to fundraise. Never happened. He was a dick to an air hostess and got banned from Delta for 6 months. That's all.
Well, since you have such a close relationship with Ye, he was the Yeezy CEO. You brought in Nick Fuentes
accidentally. It was an accident.
You were literally
the mistake anyone could have made.
Yeah, but you were literally the one that brought Nick Fuentes and Kanye together. Excuse me. You were literally the one that bridged that. So here's my question. Now with everything,
you got to be like that.
No, but now with everything that's happened, it's. I heard that he basically got fired by Ye, right? Or he got
fired by me.
Okay.
It was my first. Well, it was my second act. I fired. No, I mean, it was a condition. I left after the presidential thing. Obviously, was like falling apart when he did that Alex Jones kind of mess against my advice. And when he, a month or two later, really wanted me to come back, it was the condition of me coming back that I was able to fire Nick Fuentes personally, and they said yes.
So if you had...
What you have to understand about this is that Ye is Nick's idol. He talked in 2022 and before and after about how he's always been a Ye fan. He loves Ye. Ye's his idol. You know, Ye's his like role model and all the rest of it. So when Nick tried like funny business with me, tried to like backstab me out of nowhere for no reason on the basis of nothing, I thought I'd teach him a lesson and go be CEO of his idol's company for 2 years. When he visits, he stays at the Best Western and he's invited for 24 hours, if that. I ran his idol's company for 2 years because he needed to be taught a lesson. Now, in the course of doing that, I discovered and developed a great reverence and affection and respect for Ye, and our relationship became something real and something different. But it started out as a punishment for Nick.
Who do you predict is going to win the next presidential election in America?
Obviously Trump, but whether or not they will allow that to happen is another matter. The issue is this, Newsom kind of dipped his toe in the water a little bit and didn't go very well for him. Kamala Harris is even less popular than Biden with the population, and the Democratic Party, everybody in it hates her guts. Everyone hates her. So it can't be Kamala Harris. It can't be. I don't think anybody in the Democrat Party knows who it will be, and they just don't have time to build up a candidate to beat him. I think it will suit them to have Trump in office again. I think they're ready for it. I think they're already stealing for it. The sort of stealing as in like girding their loins for it, because I mean the debate that you saw in which Trump exercised such extraordinary restraint, first time he's ever seemed presidential in the conventional sense of the word. That was a planned assassination by the Democrat Party of Joe Biden, obviously. They were all ready to go afterwards with the Joe's got to go, but they don't have anybody, and they don't have time to build somebody up to beat Trump. So I think they're going to let him win, and I think they're going to make the best of it, which is no screaming abdabs, no cities burning down, but just use the time that Trump's in office, knowing as they do now from last time that he's basically useless and ineffective in office, and the other Republicans will take care of making him useless because of the war that's going on in the Republican Party. They're going to spend those 4 years fundraising, right, and getting ready, so that there's never another Republican president ever. Because if you look at like when Trump was in last time, there's you must go to the website of the Capital Research Center. It's a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. that tracks the money flows on the Democrat side, right? And the president of that, Scott Walter, has written a book about Arabella, I think it's called Arabella Advisor, so the Arabella Network. This is this gigantic multi-billion-dollar dark money network that funds all of the terrible stuff on the left-wing side, right? Whilst protecting the identities of the people who are pouring money into it. You can kind of tell who's putting money in, but not what it's gone to. So it's a way, for instance, for the Ford Foundation or for Zuckerberg or for whoever it is, hypothetically, to put like a $500 million in here, but without, but he can't be tied to the fact that it's for radical abortion here. It's for this here, right? So there's Arabella Advisors, Arabella Network. I mean, they're gonna come out of the Trump presidency with like 50 billion, ready to go. Then there'll be another Republican president. So I think they're ready for Trump. They've accepted that Trump's going to win. They're going to let it happen.
If a man identifies as a woman and rapes another woman, would you call that rape or a cat fight?
That's a shame. That's a shame.
I finally got one. Fucking A, bro.
Yeah, from a commenter.
No, that was mine.
Was it you?
Yeah.
No, that was, listen.
Alpha King Nima, right? No, that wasn't me.
Is that what you call yourself?
Yeah. That's my book. My book's coming out, How to Not Be a Bitch by Alpha King Nima. I would love for you to read
yourself Alpha King.
That's the author of the book.
After today, do you feel like that nickname
holds? I feel like you were the one that came at me. That Alpha King.
Hey, this is how I make friends. I'm trying to be nice.
No, but he's actually a very nice person.
I've never been sweeter.
No, he's a very nice person. Actually.
This is how I make friends. Yeah. It doesn't always come across that way, but this is how I make. Because I was gay for a very long time. I don't really know how to be. I'm just trying to reach out as a bro. But do you think that nickname holds after today?
Yeah, because I think you made me sharper.
You could be my alpha queen if you want.
No.
No, listen. I'm gonna give you alpha king. I'll be alpha emperor. How about that?
There we go.
How about that?
So, guys, the question again. You got it?
There we go. See, it's just warming up towards the end, ain't you?
Yeah.
No, it was something about cat fights.
I'm like Mayweather, man. We go
Yeah. Just like,
about the 6th or 7th round. I start.
You're out.
Oh.
Okay. See, this is your mistake. You should be like, you should do the Rogan. You should do the 4 hours. And then
I was intimidated.
by the end of it, you're going to be wah. So listen,
So just to repeat the question.
I know what the question was, bitch.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
I say that to everybody.
Go ahead.
No, I'm very forgetful.
Of all the things you've disrespected me with, calling me a bitch.
No, I didn't mean. No, I didn't even mean it. It just came out. I'm so sorry. I have not disrespected you. I've not disrespected.
It's like.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. My alpha king. My alpha. No, give me. My alpha king. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My alpha king. I'm sorry.
There we go, Milo. Yiannopoulos.
Let me do the poke. I'm sorry. My alpha king.
All right, bro. Come on.
Let me poke Francis.
Come on, man. You don't gotta do that.
All right. That's the straightest you've been all day. Like, get off my feet, bro. Get off my feet, bro. No, listen.
If a man identifies as a woman,
he should be murdered. Sorry.
Yes. Any rapes another woman, do you call that rape, or is that just a cat fight?
Of course, it's rape, and I think that the compassionate, humane thing to do would be to accelerate the suicide process and execute him, because we know they all gonna go anyway. Help him along the road on his transgender journey. And,
here's another.
Help him. Give him the stepping stone. Be a good ally. Give him the stepping stone he needs. Help him along on his transgender journey and kill his ass.
I don't condone. I don't support what he just said.
No.
I got love for the trannies, gays, everybody.
I'm not saying vigilante. I'm saying it should be federal law. It's legal. I'm not advocating. I'm saying it should be the law. You know, to what?
I didn't say anything about the gays, the LGBT.
If you are,
that's Milo Yiannopoulos, not
Nima. If you are transgender, you're right to think about killing yourself. Because you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. But you're right to think about it. You know, if you've chopped off your cock, you're right to think about it. Don't do it. But I mean, like, it's understandable.
Well, do you think it's bad if a woman has a dick?
No women have dicks. That's not a woman. That makes me smarter than Ketanji Brown Jackson, doesn't it? Do you know who that is? No.
Who's that?
He's a Supreme Court justice, bro.
Oh shit, man.
Who famously could not define a woman during her confirmation hearings. What do you read? Like the back of your BCAAs and that's it?
No, I don't know much.
You know what BCA is?
Oh
my gosh.
What is?
You're so stupid. It's the stupidity.
This is an entertainment show.
It's the stupidity for me, no.
It's an entertainment show on Rumble, but I don't do violence.
BCAAs are a supplement that lots of people who work out take.
Yeah.
It was a compliment.
Yeah.
And I was saying, do you read or just the back of your BCAAs? Like people who read the back of soap dish, right? Okay. So it was kind of a compliment. And no, Ketanji Brown Jackson, when she was getting confirmed, first black female Supreme Court justice, could not define a woman, and she could, but she just didn't want to upset, the crazies on her side. My God, we got to end this. More questions from those. More questions, please.
More questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
I'm getting tired. When I get tired, I get rude.
Well, other than the fact of, let's see here. Okay, does Gabe Hoffman fund Nick for Mossad?
Ooh, that's a good question. So Gabe Hoffman is the guy behind An Open Secret, which was a very good movie. Well, it wasn't a very good movie, but it was a decent movie, and it was on an important subject, right? Hollywood pedophilia.
Gabe's a nice guy, though.
He's not a nice guy.
No.
He's a terrible and impossible person to work with. But a lot of his work is good, and it's like
he does good work, man.
Absolutely,
calling out the child pedophiles
without question.
Shout out Gabe Hoffman doing good work, calling out the pedophiles.
Impossibly difficult person to deal with, but he does great work. Absolutely. I've tried really hard to work with him, and I just, he's a lot, but he does often do good work.
So does Gabe Hoffman fund Nick Fuentes for Mossad?
The only explanation for Nick Fuentes' continued existence is that he's being funded by Jews or by the left, because that's the only group that he continues to serve well. You know, like the only people who benefit from the existence of Nick Fuentes are leftist groups and Jews, because he's so repugnant and so repellent to people that I think, you know, he can only be working against his own stated interest. Do you know what I mean? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Any other way? I mean, he's got. You go like America First Foundation, you trace it back and back and back and back, and eventually you'll get to, oh, it's a product of the SPLC. You know, like, I mean, isn't that the only possible explanation?
yeah. Wait, all right, so here's another question. I was speaking at a Tommy Robinson event in London on June 1st.
God bless Tommy.
Yeah, so my question is,
I mean, he did.
what do you think about Tommy Robinson? Would you do a collaboration with Tommy Robinson? He's a friend of mine. I would love to, you know, have you two together.
Well,
shout out to Tommy.
I've known Tommy for 10 years, but thank you.
Oh, okay, you've known him long. He just got arrested in Canada.
I am a great admirer and appreciator of Tommy. I mean, I don't know what the big, like, kind of like major league charm offensive with the Jews that he's been on lately is about. Like, you can hear the sound of slurping from here, you know, all the way from London. But I don't know what that's all about. But in all other ways, I'm a great supporter and admirer of Tommy Robinson, and I've spoken at his rallies in the past, and I love him. Yeah, no, I think he's great. I just, you know, like he's. I just think maybe there was a different way through the racism allegations than becoming like doing what Mariah Carey's ex-husband like sort of said something disobliging, Nick Cannon said something disobliging about the Jews, and he had to spend 6 years going for Shabbos. He spent 6 years having to go for Shabbos with different families all over America, and like proved he wasn't racist anymore. It's like doing the LeBron, you know, like, you know, I don't think it was necessary for Tommy to do the LeBron, but no, I love him. I love him.
So
I think he's got that thing that Gavin McInnes has got, where it's just kind of it's just inherited from the rest of their politics, you know, like, and I've always had a bit more of a problem with that.
what did you think about
I'm a Palestine guy?
You are?
I wasn't, but I post October 7th I happened.
What do you think about Elon Musk having you back? Obviously, I would imagine you like it, but
I begged him not to reactivate my Twitter, and he put it back on anyway. So I think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I told him, please don't put it back, and he turned it back on anyway. So,
what do you see yourself building? Because you're doing great on X right now.
Elon Musk. I'm a climate. Thank you for the compliment. I do appreciate that sincerely, brother. I do appreciate that. Yeah. But I don't think I am actually. I think I'm kind of like taking a while to find my feet, because I was banned for 8 years. And it's a very, very different place. That's a decade, you know? Sorry. I know you know it's a decade. Yeah. No, it's a long time. And the tenor and tone and style of the platform's completely changed. I don't really know how it works anymore, how to do well on it anymore. I used to run that motherfucker, you know? Like, I ran the Twitter in 2015, 16. I really, I'm taking a while to... I'm taking a while to find my sea legs, you know, like, yeah. I don't know how well I'm doing on it really. And also the other thing is, and they told me this when they gave it back to me, or when they forcibly, my Twitter account was returned without my consent. It was, you know, social media rape. They forced me back onto it. They told me at the time, if you don't watch your language, sorry, it's hot again, so many insects everywhere. If you don't watch your language, the algorithm's going to start suppressing you. And I will just say, like, all day, like, faggot. You know, mostly about it, quite and so my reach is like, but I really don't care, and I never have. To be honest with you, like, I'm not what they call customer facing anymore. Like, you know, I've not been a senior executive at a global multi-billion-dollar company now. So, you know, like, I'm thinking about more than being controversial on the internet most days, although I've done quite well today. I'm quite happy with myself, so just like all times. Sorry, that's the cameras, and see how I practice that. But no, I don't really do a lot of interviews anymore. Like 1 or 2 a year. I think the last one I did was Timcast like a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't really give a lot of interviews because I'm not really like, I don't thirst for that kind of affirmation or whatever anymore. I'm really into the kind of work I do now. So I prefer to work behind the scenes, helping other people get big, rather than doing it myself. You know.
Someone asked the question of, do you know the identity of Microchip?
The name rings a bell, but I can't honestly remember who that is. Who is that?
I don't know.
No.
I did.
I might. I probably do. It's probably on a hard drive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so before we go here, that people can find you on X.
Please don't follow me.
No.
Don't follow me. Don't go to x.com/Nero. That's Nero, like the Roman Emperor. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Give me. You know what? Give me. Thanks. Thanks. Oh, the blue light thing's broken. Give me a month. Let me like this, because the ship's doing this and doing this and doing this, and I'm like throwing up over the side like every 20 minutes because I don't remember what it's like someone who hasn't had sex for a long time. I forgot how it goes. Just give me a month. Don't come to no, I'm kidding. You can go to Twitter if you want to, but really, I'm kind of out of public life, so I'm not really, I post on Twitter to amuse myself, really. So if you've enjoyed this programming and you'd like more of it, then you can visit x.com/Nero. If, on the other hand, you found me to be an obnoxious, poor imitation of a formerly successful social media presence, then skip it.
What? Let me ask you something here, bro. When
Gave me the brother back. See that?
Yeah.
Friends again. He got pissed at me for a second, but we're friends again now.
I appreciate it. I mean, we're like literally, because I've never seen you on a podcast. I saw Tim Cass was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's I know that I've been a pain today, for which I apologize, because
you've been great.
Like I do like you a lot.
Always welcome on the show too, man.
He has to say that so he doesn't seem pissed. No. I don't give interviews, but when you DM'd me, what did I say at the beginning of this? This is why you don't go into the one person you may know in your DMs. When I went to, because I remembered that I was like, oh my God, she landed a blow on me. I went back and watched it, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that's my 2024 interview, because I kind of do one a year. So that's, for all of the shitty behavior that I have forced you to endure today, for which I apologize. That's your compliment.
Thank you, brother.
That's your compliment.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Well, everybody, we have Milo Yiannopoulos, very creative, original mind. And what's thank you for being here. And what's the next project, that's coming out that people can?
I'm interviewing with 3 different stars at the moment. So they're all like when you do a really good job, I don't want to say handling, because no one can handle Ye, but let's say managing the affairs of someone like Ye, people notice. And Yeezy, like, by the time I left, I'm sadly not now, but by the time I left, it was like almost a real company, because I was putting those systems in place, getting the right people in the right jobs. So it was a company you could do business with again. You know what I mean? And so people noticed, and as a result, I'm interviewing at the moment with 3 very big stars. One of whom is another very big hip hop star, another big rap star. It will blow people's minds if I take that job. I don't know how the fans are going to feel about it, but I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do the same thing again, with a star that's, I mean, nobody's as big as Ye in some ways, but in terms of sales, touring, and whatever is now bigger. And so, I mean, I'm probably going to be not on a television near you anytime soon, but I'm certainly grateful for the conversation.
All right, everybody. Well, please follow Milo Yiannopoulos on X, and please at least subscribe to this channel. I'll take it. Subscribe to this channel. Share this video.
If you're watching this on Rumble,
share the video.
If you're watching this on Rumble, and you were thinking of following somebody, follow him. Don't follow me. Follow him.
I'll take it. Welcome home.
Follow him.
Welcome home. Welcome home, subscriber. All right, everybody. Thank you for.
God bless you.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's amazing that so many people stayed this long. All right, guys.